Mourinho leaders over in League Two despite coming into this weekend's action on the back of a defeat. Will they still be at number one at the end of these games? We'll take a look at it, all of it, next. That's right, folks. What's going on in another prediction video today? It's all about matchday number 16. That's right. As the rest of the world focuses on international football, it ain't over just yet over in League Two. It all keeps on going this coming weekend, and could have some right new look in the automatic spots next time around. As of course, the top three are all a second, third, and fourth coming at you all on the same amount of points. But who, of course, will be in those automatics after the conclusion of these games. We'll take a look at it in a second. Of course, if you're new where you've been, smash your subscribe. Your one-stop shop for League Two is right here under one roof. Also, a big shout-out to the members. You know who you are. And a big shout-out to the Patreons. You know who you are, of course, behind the bloody scenes. So, without further ado, let's get into it and bring you bang up to date. Alrighty then, folks, let's turn the clock back to this past weekend and recap what went on, of course, with the previous round of games. There they are, of course, as you see it. Morecambe with a big, important away win against Harrogate Town, 2-1 winners. I went with the 1-0 win, ain't too shabby there. Salford beating Carlisle. Actually, flip that around, that was my prediction. Actually, Carlisle with a monster 1-0 away win against Salford. Barrow and Colchester could only draw 1-1 in the end. Wimbledon losing at home to Grimsby was a bit of a surprise. Cheltenham won and Bromley won, and won with a home win there. Meanwhile, Doncaster and Notts County also drew 1-1 at their keep. Chesterfield shock loss, big loss to Accrington. Stanley 3-0 at their own backyard. Gillingham also picking up a big win over Port Vale to get themselves right back in the thick of things. Fleetwood Town with a 1-0 win over Bradford. Again, that they took a bit of a backward step. MK Dons with a big win over Ian Holloway's boys. Is that right? Did I get that right? Meanwhile, Tranmere beating Newport County 2-1 winners in the end. And Walsall picking up a draw against Crewe. So those, of course, were my picks. Yours will usually be coming around about now, but we're not looking at it because we are on the road. I'm just actually, it is a big 3-1 win. Goodness gracious me. So what we're going to do right here, right now, this is the link. Actually, we're going to show you the table. That's what we're going to do. As you see it, Port Vale running away with it at the tip of the top of the graphic right there with 30 points. Walsall are up there in pretty much within touching distance, and then Notts County in that power 3. But don't rule out Doncaster, don't rule out Crewe, as they could also be in it, as could MK Dons. Grimsby as well could also be in the automatics. Come at you next weekend. Going down, it's Carlisle, it's Morecambe, but it is getting very, very tight down there with the likes of Ian Holloway's Swindon Town, the Crowleys, Colchester, all within striking distance of getting into those relegation spots next time around. Like I said, we are not looking at your prediction league, but this is the link to keep on going. The prediction league will keep moving. We'll just play a little bit of catch up at the back end of the month when I come back from England, because I'm currently in PA, go back to Georgia, then go to England. All crazy stuff right now. But these are the next round of games, and we've got some absolute crackers to look forward to. So without further ado, let's take a look at it then, shall we? Coming at you with Accrington Stanley up against Swindon Town, coming out over in Accrington. They played 10 times since the year 2006. 4 wins for Stanley, 5 wins for Swindon, and we've got 1 draw between the two sides. Of course, Stanley. Maybe I should shift that over here because I want to see you. I want to keep an eye on you guys. Of course, coming at you, Swindon Town, 42% forward for them right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. Ian Holloway in charge right now, but they're all the way down in 22nd in the table. Up against Accrington Stanley, 3 wins on the bounce in all competitions for John Doolan as they start to make a move up the table. They're currently in 18th spot. The last time they played over at Stanley, it was a 7-goal thriller in favour of Swindon. 4-3 it was in League Two back in November 2023. Swindon on the back of that 3-1 loss against MK Dons. Stanley picking up a big 3-0 away win against Chesterfield. The odds for this, we're looking at it. 31-20 is your Stanley, 6-4 is your away win, 12-5 is the draw. Which way am I going on this one? It could be, I think I'm going a home win. Yes, I am, 2-0 win. I'm a big fan of Holloway, really am. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Holloway, of course. I like to see him do very, very well, but realistically, I think his hands are tied here. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Accrington Stanley. Let's kick on forward to the next one. It's Barrow. It's, of course, Wimbledon coming at you over in Barrow. That's Holker Street to you and I. I played 9 times since the year 2009. 4 wins for Barrow, 3 wins for Wimbledon, 2 draws, of course. Barrow coming into this on pretty shitty form right now, all the way down to 11th in the table without a win in the last 7 matches. Johnny Jackson's Wimbledon up to 14th right now, just 1 win in the last 4. Of course, that's probably in the FA Cup, was it? I'll correct you in a second. Meanwhile, coming at you, last time they played over at Holker Street, it was a 0-0 draw back in October 2023. Wimbledon just winning once out of the last 4. Yeah, well, Wimbledon did beat MK Dons in the Cup, which was, of course, a nice boost for us all there. Meanwhile, the Dons coming into this on the back of that loss against Grimsby. Barrow on the back of that draw against Colchester United. It makes it 3 home matches in a spin for Barrow here. 8-5 is the odds for them. Of course, 13-8 is your away win. 21-10 is, of course, the draw. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Barrow. Getting back to winning ways at long last. I want Wimbledon to succeed, of course, but I think Barrow have them beaten this time around. Let's go to Bromley then, shall we, as they take on Carlisle, who are coming into this on the back of a win at long last. Meanwhile, Bromley grinding out some results as well. Unbeaten in the last 4, just one defeat in the last 6. They are currently find themselves 19th in the table with 15 points under Andy Woodman. Mike Williamson's Carlisle, just one win at the last 6, 23rd in the table, 11 points to the name, and they never played each other, these two sides. Carlisle on the back of that 1-0 win over Salford. Bromley on the back of that 1-1 draw against Cheltenham Town, of course. Odds here, 2019 on is your Bromley. They are favoured. 25 is the draw. 25 is also your away win. I think Carlisle realistically should be starting to climb the table, and these are the games they want to get some W's here. I don't see it, though. I'm going to go with another 0-0 draw. Point in the back for Bromley that continues their good bit of form. Carlisle yet to really click under the new coach. That is Mike Williamson. Let's go to Colchester United as they take on Bradford City, coming at you over in Colchester. Played 20 times since year 2004. Colchester under Danny Crowley all the way down to 21st in the table, 13 points to the name, winless in at least the last 9 games. Bradford City coming at you under Graham Alexandra, just 1 win in the last 4 for them at the moment, sitting in 10th. 22 points, of course, still trying to get themselves into those playoffs and, of course, making a good run for it this time around. Played 20 times since the year 2004. 6 wins for Colchester, 4 for Bradford. 10 draws, including the time they last played at this venue, which was a 1-1 draw back in January 2024. The home side has favoured this one, winning 4 of the last 5. And, of course, Bradford on the back of that 1-0 loss against Fleetwood. Colchester could only draw against Barrow most recently. But the odds right here, right now, we're looking at it. Colchester 17-10 for the victory. 7-5 is your Bradford. 9-4 is the bloody draw. I'm going to go with the Bradford City victory here. They've not been great, but these are the results. Again, like just previously, Carlisle need to be beating Bromley. Bradford City need to be beating Colchester if they're going to complete their aims and aspirations this season. So I'm going to go with 2-1 win in the end there. Crewe taking on Notts County. What a ding-dong classic this is going to be. Coming at you at the top of the table. Of course, we have 5th place Crewe up against 3rd place Notts County. Played 17 times since year 2003. 4 wins to Crewe, 9 wins to Notts County. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. Crewe on the back of just 1 defeat in the last 6 with 25 points to their name, up against Notts County, unbeaten in at least the last 6 games, picking up 3 wins and 3 draws over the last 6. They sit 3rd, 27 points to their name. The last time they played over at Gresty Road, it was a 1-0 win for Crewe, goodness gracious me, who have won 3 on the bounce in all competitions and all venues against their opposition this weekend. Notts County, though, could only draw against Doncaster Rovers. Crewe could only draw against high-flying Walsall, as some of the big boys meet regularly. 13-8 is your Crewe, 7-5 is your Notts County. We have 23-10 is the draw, and it could actually be a draw here. I'm going for a goal fest, though, 2-2 in the end. And again, Crewe will be happy, I think, taking points off their opposition and maybe taking a point closer to the automatics. Let's go Doncaster Rovers. That's right, coming at you up against Salford City and Mark Carl Robinson. Doncaster under Grant McCann sit 4th right now with 27 points and then just 1 defeat in the last 6. Carl Robinson's Salford 13th in the table, just 1 defeat also in the last 6. They played 5 times since 2022, 2 wins apiece and just 1 draw. The last time they played over at Keep Moat, it was a 3-0 win for Salford back in October 2023. That was in this division. Carlisle picking up a 1-0 win over Salford last time around. That was back, of course, just the other day. Doncaster only drawing with high-flying Notts County most recently. 13-8 on is your Doncaster, 50-4 is your Salford, 11-4 is the draw. I love both of these coaches here. I think they've both got good chances, and a lot of pressure is on the shoulders of Salford City. But I'm going to go with the Doncaster Rovers 3-1 win at the Keep Moat to keep their dream alive. Meanwhile, Morecambe up against high-flying Port Vale. Goodness gracious me, coming at you at the Azteca Arena, is that what they call it? Coming at you, of course, this coming weekend. Played 22 times since the year 2007. 10 wins for Morecambe, 8 wins for Port Vale. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. The most recent match, we'll get to that shortly. Morecambe on the back of 3 wins and 3 defeats over the last 6 games. They are 24th right now, 10 points to the name. Is there any hope for Morecambe? Of course, under Derek Adams. Meanwhile, Port Vale on back-to-back defeats, of course, including the FA Cup and now the League. But they, of course, sit top of the pops with 30 points to the name. They last played at this venue. It was a 1-0 win for Morecambe. In fact, the last 6 matches between these two sides have all gone a victory victory for the hosts. That's right, whether it's at Port Vale, whether it's at Morecambe. So can Lightning continue to follow in that direction? Morecambe on the back of that 2-1 win away against Harrogate. Gillingham with a big one, they went over Port Vale most recently as well. The odds for this one, Morecambe 31-10 for the victory, 5-4 on is your Port Vale, 5-2 is the draw. I think my head is saying Port Vale here. Yeah, but yeah, I've got a feeling Morecambe might snick this one. So stand by on that. Let's get on forward though to Harrogate Town up against Chesterfield, who need some results as their playoff dreams seem to be slipping away from them at the moment. Harrogate Town, they are currently in 20th in the table, 15 points to the name under Simon Weaver. Up against Chesterfield and Paul Cook, who are sitting in 9th. Just one defeat though in the last 6 games and on 22 points for the season thus far. They played 4 times, these two clubs, since 2018, 3 for Harrogate, nothing for Chesterfield. There's been 1 draw between the two sides. The last time they played, it was a 7-goal thriller in Chesterfield. 4-3 it was for Harrogate. Meanwhile, the last time they played at Harrogate, it was a 3-1 win for Harrogate back in November 2019. Both of those games in the National League. Chesterfield, though, losing to Stanley most recently. Harrogate losing to Morecambe most recently. The odds here, 10-3 is your Harrogate, 6-4 on is your Chesterfield, 11-4 is the draw. I've got to back Chesterfield on this one. 2-0 winners for them over Harrogate to get the big fat W. Let's move on forward to MK Dons up against Cheltenham, coming at you at the Stadium MK over in Milton Keynes. Of course, Scott Lindsay's boys sitting in 6th right now. They've shot up the table. 24 points for the campaign, 4 wins of the last 5. That one defeat was in the FA Cup. Meanwhile, Cheltenham, of course, unbeaten now with Michael Flynn at the helm at 16 for the table, 18 points. But of course, got a nice run going at the moment for Cheltenham. 11 times they've played since 2008. 6 for MK Dons, 2 for Cheltenham. There's been 3 draws, including the last 2, goodness gracious me, at MK Dons, at Cheltenham, last season in League One. Of course, with the last match being at Stadium MK, being a 2-2 draw way back when. Milton Keynes on the back of that 3-1 win over Swindon. Cheltenham with a big draw against Bromley. 6-4 on, that is your MK Dons. We have 27-10 is the draw. 7-2 is, of course, your Cheltenham. We're going to go with a victory for MK Dons. Of course, we are 2-1 win to complete the move into the playoffs. Well, they're already in the playoffs, aren't they? Newport County up against Grimsby, are still hanging on in there, aren't they? Under Lee Bell. Sorry, not Lee Bell, David Artell. Lee Bell, rhymes. Newport County under Nelson Jardine currently find themselves in 15th with 19 points. Just 1 win, though, in the last 6 games. Up against Grimsby, coming into this on the back of a win. Just 2 wins, though, in the last 6. But they sit 7th with 24 points to the name. They played 23 times, these two clubs. 9 wins for Newport County, 7 for Grimsby. 7 draws between the two sides. Last time they played at Newport County, it was a 1-1 draw back in 16th of December 2023. Grimsby on the back of that 1-0 win over Wimbledon, big win that was, and of course Tranmere beating Newport County at Prenton Park last time around. The odds for this, Newport County 9-5 for the victory, 12-5 is the draw, 13-10 your away win. Gonna go with another 1-1 draw again. Grimsby are a bit hit and miss right now, but yeah, I'm quite surprised to see them as high as 7th, and I'd love to see that push on further as well, but we'll see. Meanwhile, going over to Prenton Park now, it is Tranmere, it is Fleetwood, and it's coming at you this coming weekend, if I can see it, or is it? It might be on the old postponed list. There's not many, if any, games postponed over in League 2, but I'm having a quick scramble around. And actually, these bottom 2 might both be postponed. But we'll talk about it just in case it does take place. Of course, Nigel Atkins, Tranmere currently find themselves 17th at the table. 2 wins in the last 6 games. Up against Fleetwood under Charlie just 1 win in the last 6 matches. They played 6 times since 2012. 1 win for Tranmere, 4 for Fleetwood. There's been 1 draw between the two sides. The last time they played at Tranmere was a 2-0 win for Fleetwood. It was a friendly. Doesn't really count. The last time they played in the league in this competition, you've got to go into the record books well beyond. In fact, they've only played the 1 time in the league, and that was in the COVID year, I think. 2019-2020 season, they only played, and it was in Fleetwood. It was a 2-1 win for Fleetwood. That was in League 1. Tranmere, though, on the back of that 2-1 win over Newport County. Fleetwood on the back of that 1-0 win over Bradford. Got no odds, so we're going to have to go with our gut on this one. My gut would say a 1-0 win for Tranmere to continue that good bit of form right now under Nigel Atkins. Let's go into the final game, and it will be Walsall, it will be Gillingham, or will it? Again, I don't know if it's going to take place, but it's a big one for Walsall, and a reasonable one for Gillingham. That's right, played 28 times since 2001, 12 wins for Walsall. We have 5 wins for Gillingham. There's been 11 draws between the two sides. Walsall, though unbeaten in the last 6 matches, sits 2nd with 27 points to the name. Up against Gillingham, coming into this on the back of a win. They're sitting in 8th right now, 23 points to the name. Last time they played at Walsall, 4-1 when it was for Walsall back at the Prescott back in October 2023. Walsall could only draw with Crewe most recently. Gillingham back to winning ways with a big win over Port Vale last time around. Again, got no odds, so we're going with our gut. And this one's probably leaning towards an away win. Oh yes, I got surprised us all. Back-to-back wins here for the Gills, if it was to go ahead. Now, I don't know if it does go ahead. But anyway, regardless, we are dropping a prediction league form, so make sure you check that out. And, of course, get your predictions in right here, right now. That, my friends, is what I've got for you. Oh, yes, indeed. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you smash the like. Make sure you catch me later, of course. But until then, guys and girls, we are done.